folks, Punisher88 here. So, it's Saturday, and that means it's time for the weekend review. So before I get to my actual review, I just wanted to let you guys know, well, for starters, my channel's up to 17 subscribers now. So thank you to the 17 people out there who decided to give my channel a chance, as well as I would also like to thank everyone for the views I'm receiving. And on top of that, I remember a couple videos back I mentioned how my my video of me chilling with the guys from Epic Mealtime at Comic-Con this year has surpassed has become my most viewed video on here. I think that's when it was at I think it had just hit like 60 views or something, or 61 views. So at the time it was my most viewed video. Well, I just wanted to let you guys know I got a little update on that, and I would like to thank everyone again, because now it is at, last I checked, 74 views. So it's climbing. So that I'm really happy about that. So thanks to everyone out there who watched it, either once or twice or who knows how many times, you know. And you know, it's not just that video. I got my other videos too. If you guys want to check them out, you know, give them a look-see. Anyway, so for my review today, I originally had picked 3 different books to choose from, and they were Pit Number 1 from Image Comics. I think that was put out, I'm not sure. But anyway, Pit Number 1. Then there was Revenge Number 1, which is part of a 4-part miniseries. So, and I have all 4 issues, so I had the idea of, when I do review Revenge Number 1, that probably the next following 3 weeks would be devoted to, you know, issue 2, 3, and 4 as well. So to wrap up the whole miniseries. So there was that. And for those of you out there who don't know what Revenge is, like the cover says, for mature readers, they mean it's for mature readers. There's a lot of violence, gore, and all that good stuff. So anyway, and also when I do issue number 1, I have two copies of issue number 1. I have the regular issue, and I have a really cool variant cover that I got, and I want to show you guys that too. So anyway, so there was that, Revenge Number 1. Or then there was an older DC book, which was Detective Comics issue 566. And speaking of that issue, I know how much you guys hear me talk about how I'm a big sucker for comic book covers and, you know, the artwork and all that stuff. Well, Detective Comics 566, I think, next to Batman 251, the cover of that comic, I think, is like my, if not second, it's up in the top 10 of my most favorite comic book covers ever. And yeah, I mean, I love it. So anyway, so before I went to bed to come to work, those were my 3 options. Excuse me. So when I got up, I was like, okay, time to choose. So I was checking in, I'm thinking, and then finally I was like, okay, I haven't read this book yet. Well, actually, I haven't read all 3 of those choices, but I was like, I bought this book, one for the cover and one I've always wanted to read it. So I was like, screw it, I'm picking it anyway, and that's what I'm going to do my review on it tonight. So, in the end, the book I chose, Detective Comics issue 566. And the reason why I love this comic cover so much is because it features a lot of Batman's main, it's Batman's rogue gallery, And I mean, you got everyone, well, not, oh, pretty much, you got all the big ones. You got Joker, Joker, Penguin, Killer Moth, Poison Ivy. You go over here, Raj Al Ghul. I think I'm saying his name right. And then you got Penguin, the Riddler, and my favorite, Two-Face. So, it's an awesome. And the artwork, the cover anyway, is done by Dick Giordano. I mean, amazing artist. Was an amazing artist. He passed away in 2010. But, awesome stuff he's done. And he goes back to like the 60s and that. So, he's been around the block when it comes to doing his stuff. So, anyway, so the story itself in the comic. Basically what it is, it's not really story. It's kind of like a recap between Batman and Robin. And at this point in this Batman and Robin career-wise, I know everyone out there knows there have been many Robins. Well, when this story came out, this is from September '86. So at this point, Jason Todd was Robin at the time. And anyway, so the story starts off with Batman getting a letter after he went to see Commissioner Gordon, and it's nothing. It's no big letter. It's very simple. There's no identification of who it was from, and it just says, "Know your enemies," in big red writing. So Batman's trying to figure out, who could have sent this. And then Robin's like, let's investigate or whatever. So pretty much the whole story is a look into Batman's, a look at a lot of Batman's enemies. So I'm just going to take this out. Let's get this out for you guys. So, sorry, it says know your enemies. Sorry. So, the first enemy, bad guy, villain that Batman decides to check up on first is the bad of the bad, the Joker. So and as they give up, there's a little like a stat, like a write up on each of the villains, and as each one comes up, Batman and Robin talk about, if it's possible he could have did it or whatever. So in order that they show the Joker first, and I'll show you what I mean by it, like a write up. See, looks like on a computer screen. Pretty cool. So we show the Joker, and you get the Penguin. Then you get Killer Moth. And the thing is, I never really knew much about Killer Moth, and apparently he's like the anti-Batman. So that's pretty neat, And then you got a 2-pager here. You got Black Mask and Two-Face. I'm sorry guys, I really like Two-Face. Then you got Mad Hatter. I'm just going over this. I always like these pages, seeing some of the stuff you could have won back back then when you're looking through these comics. Pretty cool. A sewing machine. Every kid wants one of those. A calculator watch. Haven't seen those in so long. You still get those? Anyway. Oh yes. Every kid wants an archery set. Good stuff. Good stuff. Anyway, then you have one of my favorite, another one of my favorite villains who you don't really see much of him. I know. I think he's part of the Suicide Squad now, or no? That's no, he is. Um, I've never really read much about him in the older comics, but that Deadshot, he's pretty cool. There's an expert marksman. You guys know who Deadshot is. Come on, like I gotta explain it. Then you got another two-page one here of whoop, Raj Al Ghul. And then these two, I never really heard of them. Nocturna and Night Slayer. I've never really heard of them much. But in here, Batman tells Robin that apparently Nocturna is his mom. So I never really followed much up on Jason Todd, so I never read any other stuff with him as Riddler to find out if it's true or not. But after reading this, I wouldn't mind collecting more of these old detective comics from the mid 80s. Then you got Poison Ivy and the Riddler. That's pretty cool. I like the Riddler too. I like that whole idea of, you know, trying to go match wit with Batman and giving him clues and leaving him in the way of a riddle. That's pretty cool stuff. And then the last page of the different villains they check up on is just a variety of them. So, and I think out of this whole page, my favorite villain on here, Mr. Freeze. Yeah, he's awesome. To me, anyway. And then it's pretty much, you know, editor page and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty much, it's not really a story. It's just a quick look into Batman's rogue gallery. And I found out this story continues in there was I think it's an anniversary special that it's Batman issue 400, and I think it's like it's an I don't know if it's an 80-page story, but I've seen it before, so I was thinking next time I'm at Comic Hunter, I'll pick it up and read the continuation of this story because I'd like to find out, you know, who sent Batman that letter, you know? So, yeah, um, so as reviewing, I mean, it's pretty cool as, you know, a look into, you know, at I mean, we all know who Batman's main villains are, you know, Penguin, Joker, Two-Face, or the Riddler and that. But it's cool to see some of the other not so mentioned ones, you know, like Mad Hatter or again, you know, Killer Moth. Well, Poison Ivy's mentioned quite a well. She's mentioned quite a bit now, I think, because she's in a couple of the comics. I don't know back then how big of a villain she was, but anyway, you know what I mean. So I thought it was nice that they put out an issue of, you know, just to see it's a who's who type of deal, you know. And it's nice because in one of the panels, Robin mentions, you know, he's like, oh, this gives me a chance to see, you know, to learn about some of the villains I haven't faced yet and everything. So that was pretty cool. Um, well, you know, you're gonna get top marks from me for when I start mentioning about artwork, because I mean, the cover alone, I can't say it enough that I love it, you know. And on the inside of the book, The artwork's done by the team of Gene Colan and Bob Smith. I've never really heard about them. I know pretty much the mainstream, the top guys. You know, like I know George Perez, or I know Neil Adams, or you know Dick Giordano, and who's the other one? I think it's Dennis O'Neil. I think if I'm wrong, correct me, guys. But you know, these big guys were like Walt Simonson, and I know the big top guys, but I don't really know this team. But after checking this book out, the for the time, the artwork is pretty cool. So I like it. They got it pretty good with writing up all the villains and stuff. So yeah. So artwork was cool. Um, the Again, I wouldn't call it a story, more like a brief history lesson. So I thought that's pretty neat. I find every comic book needs one of those every now and then, with any hero. I like to see a Superman one, but knowing me and not looking into it at the moment, they probably did do a Superman one. Maybe they didn't. Who knows? But if they did, I'd like to find that. I think it'd be pretty cool to see, write-ups on, Zod and Brainiac and Bizarro and all that stuff. So, yeah. And I don't know if it's much of a review then, but I thought it was good. I liked it. Do I recommend this? Yeah. If you guys could find the actual issue, go get it. Um, I don't know if they'll be charging a lot for it. I know this wasn't a dollar book. I paid, I think it was five? No, I paid $6 for this book. I know it sounds a little steep, but I really wanted it and everything, so I dished out $6. Oh well. And but I mean, if you guys could, again, this is going to the I don't like digital comics, but I know there's a lot of you out there who do like digital comics, so if you guys could go on DC's website and if they have like a whole library of older comics, and if this is one of them, go give it a read. I suggest. I think you guys would like it. So, and if you guys aren't into the whole write-up thing, or like I said, the little history lesson, don't read it. But you don't have to take my word for it. At least check it out if you have the chance to find it. So, and so yeah, so I really like the book. Solid artwork. If you can find it, go get it. And that's about it. So I'm gonna try finally setting up on Facebook. The Punisher 88 Facebook page is already, like I said, in yesterday's video. It's already set up, and there's members already, But the thing I didn't realize, and this is actually I think why I didn't get any votes for the 3 books, is because I posted it as a status. Because I found out when you go on your page on Facebook when you're on your phone, you can't set up the whole polling thing. So I realized you can only do it on the computer. So starting for Thursday's review, I'm going to set it up on the computer ahead of time, what 2 books I'm going to choose, and let you guys vote on them, and we'll go from there. So, alright, so I'll see you guys on Thursday, and before I go, I want to leave you with this cool comic book quote. and it reads, "Never compromise, never, not even in the face of Armageddon." From the Watchmen. Alright, guys, take it easy, and I'll see you Thursday. Laters.